Hello, fourth grade, Miss Keller and Mr. B's class. All right, so today and this whole week, we're going to be going over multiplication. In the beginning, it'll seem like a little bit of review, and towards the end, it's going to be the standard algorithm. I know I've been telling my class that we're going to get ready for it, and this is the week that we're going to do it. Before we can get to that, though, we have to make sure that we have the multiplication with the area model down. So today, we're going to do a quick review. We're going to do 4 problems. Two different styles, and then that'll be it for today. You'll have a practice sheet with answers that you can check, but I want you to show your work and upload it to Miss Keller and Mr. B. Also, you'll have Khan Academy, some factors, not fractions, factors and multiples will be this week as well. That'll be the Khan Academy part of it. The videos and the assignments will be the multiplication part. So let's get started on the area model. Let's say I give you a problem like 62 times 57. We all know that we can break it up. And the way that we break it up is we break it up by its place value. So we have our 1s and our 10s here. I'm going to draw my square like that. And I'm going to start with 62. The first digit up here, and you can put it in any order you want. I usually do the tens value. So the digit in the tens spot is a 6. But what's the value again? What's that 6 mean? That 6 means 60. And down here, I'm going to break it up into its 1 spot, and it has a 2. And the value of a 2 in the 1 spot is 2. Let's break up 57 here. I'm going to give a slight pause. You tell me the answer, say it out loud. What is the 5 worth here? Correct, 50. What is the 7 worth here when I break it up? Correct, 7. Now we can just multiply these chunks together, which should be a lot easier. I know that in my class, to get these bigger numbers, and when we're multiplying by 0, we know to count the zeros first. 1, 2. Oops. You don't have to cross them out, but we do sometimes. And then we multiply the not zeros. So 5 times 6 is 30. Make sure you put that sneaky 0 in there, because otherwise you'd be off by a lot of, you'd be off by 2,700 if you forgot that 0 for 30. So 50 times 60 is 30. Now I go 60 times 7. I got 1 0, so I put my 0 there. And this is where knowing your multiplication facts helps. I know in my brain, for some reason, 6 times 6 is 36. So what I can do is add one more 6 to it to get 7 times 6. And 36 plus 6 is 42. Now we're going to do 2 times 50. Some of you know it right away. If you don't, you can always count your zeros. 1, 5 times 2 is 10, and it's 100. Some of you just saw right away, 2 50s is 100. And the last one we have is 2 times 7, and that is 14. What do we do with these next? Add them, correct. Make sure you are very careful with how you line these up. 3,000 starts. Now I go to the next biggest number. I do 420. Notice I didn't put the 4 under the 3 because it's only in the 100 spot. So I lined them up to make my addition easier. Then we have 100. Kept my 100 in the 100 spot. My 10s in the 10s and the 1s in the 1s. 14. I wouldn't put it over here to start with. I need to put it over here. My 1 goes in the 10s and the 4 goes in the 1s. And then we said we can add them. So we add my 1s. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4. Add my 2s, or add my 10s. 2 plus 1 is 3. It's actually worth 30. Add my hundreds. I have 500s, and I have 3 thousands. So if you multiply 62 times 57, you are going to get 3,534. We're going to do another quick one. This time I'm going to let you go ahead and practice it. I'm going to give you the equation and you're going to have you hit pause. And if you know how to do it, you can do it then. If you get stuck, we'll go through it together. Our first one is going to be, we'll make one up, 37 times 15. What does that equal? I want you to get a scrap piece of paper and do it on yourself. You can go ahead and hit pause and try it yourself. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you had success breaking it up 37 times 15. If you didn't, we're going to walk through it together here. So I'm going to draw my square. And we should actually talk about the square while we're doing it. We have 2 digits here. So I know I'm going to have 2 boxes sideways, and I have 2 digits here. So I know I'm going to have 2 boxes up and down. We'll do some problems later on where this changes a little bit, our box. But let's break up 37 into its place values. I'm going to do it the opposite way this time because it doesn't matter which way you do it. I have 7. So I'm going to do 7. What do I have left? What's that 3 represent? 3 represents 30. And over here I have 5 in my 1 spot. And what's that 10, the value of that? It is 10. The value of 1 is 10 is what I meant to ask. And so if you did it the other way, your board is just going to be flipped like mine. But we should have the same multiplication problems that we can do. That's the kind of the cool part about math, is that that's the part that lets you do it. 37 times 15 is the same as 15 times 37. It's kind of the same with this. All right, so 5 times 7. Well, I know that 5 times 5 is 25. And I just got to add 2 more 5s. 25, 30, 35. 7 times 10. Everyone should shout that out right away. 70. 30 times 5. You can do it 2 ways. You can do that, count your zeros, 1 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Some of you also know that 10 times 5 is 50. And you have 3 of those, so 50 plus 50 plus 50 is 150. And the last one, you can count your zeros, 2 zeros, and 300. Now you just need to add them up again. 300 plus 150. Make sure your place values are lining up as you do it. Plus 35 plus 70. That's a 70. Add up my 1. 0 plus 0 plus 5 plus 0 is 5. Add up my 10s. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 7 is 15. And I have to put my 1 up there. It's actually not a 1. It's worth how much again? Correct. That 1 is worth 100. So we add all of our hundreds together, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 37 times 15 is 555. Now I want to do a problem where our box is going to look a little different. So we did these in Mr. B's class, but it might have been a while, so hopefully you can do this. I had been giving you bigger problems on one side of the equation, like I would say 2,354 times, and then I would just give you 1 digit, times 4. And a lot of you guys were like, whoa, Mr. B, I don't know how to do that. You can still break it up the same way when you do your place value thing. So let's break it up. I'm going to make my box. I'm going to make it a little bit longer this time. I'm going to break up the place value of this number and put it on top first. So what is this number right here? Go ahead, shout it out. It's a 2. How much is it worth? 2,000. So my first number is going to be 2,000. We already know on the side, this one can be just 4. So we did 4 times 2,000. What's our next number going to be? 4 times, it's in the 100 spot, so 4 times 300. Now we need to do 4 times what's in our 10 spot? Oh, 50. Mr. B is writing it in the wrong spot. And the last one is 4 times what's in the 1 spot? A 4. So our area model looks the same, but different. So it has a whole bunch of boxes, because there's 4 digits here, so there's 4 boxes on the top, but there's only 1 digit here, so only 1 box going that way. If that doesn't make sense, we'll have another chance to do another problem, but let's work through this one together. So 4 times 2,000, you can put your zeros down, and 4 times 2 is 8. Put your zeros down. 4 times 3 is 12. Put your zeros down. 4 times 5 is 20. Don't forget about that extra 0. 4 times 4 is 16. And then you add them the same way you did with your other area problem. 8,000 plus 1,200, lining up your place values, plus 200 plus 16. And you get a 6. Sorry, it's small down here. Ooh, and there's a reflection. A 6. A 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 8 plus 8 is 9. 9,416. I'm going to write another one up there, and I want to see if you can do this one on your own today. All right, let's see. 6,921 times 6. What does that equal? I'm going to ask you to do it on your own. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause for you. Boop. Actually, you have to hit pause, so go ahead and hit pause and try it on your own. Come back to me when you think you have the answer. All right, welcome back. Let's do it together here. We're going to break up the same way as we did in our last one. This is a 1 digit here, so I'm going to do 6 on the side. I have no tens, ones, hundreds, thousands. I have none of those, so I'm only going to have one little box this way. How many boxes on top am I going to have? 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit. There's 4 digits. So I need to have 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can break up this number into its place values. So our first digit is, what value is it? Well, it's in the thousand spot, and it's a 6, so it's worth 6,000. What's our next digit we have to use? A 9, and it's in the 100 spot, so it's worth 900. What's our next digit? Is a 2, so it's worth 20 because it's in the 10 spot. And our last one is a 1, and it's in the 1 spot, so it's only worth 1. Now we can multiply them out. I'm going to count my 0 trick. 6 times 6 is 36. 36,000, that's pretty big. The next one, I'm going to line up like this. So I'm going to count my zeros here. 900 times 600, 0, 0. 9 times 6 is 54. Now I have 20 times 6. And I'm going to count my 0. It's 120 because it's 6 times 2 is 12. And 6 times 1, everyone knows, is 6. Now we need to add them. So 36,000 plus 5,400 plus 120 plus 6. Add those. What do you get? Add our ones. You get a 6. Add our tens. No tens here. Oh, there's one there. You get, and the 120, you get a 2. Add our 100s when you line them up. I get 5 100s. Add up our thousands, I get 11. Can I put 11 down there? Nope. I got to put 1 there, and I put 1 up there, because that 11 is actually 11,000. So I put my 1 back up here. I add my 10,000 places, and I get 4. So it's 41,526. So you're going to have some practice next in your modules. If you look, it'll say practice answers. Those will be all double-digit ones. Keep in mind this, because later on we're going to come back to this when we do standard algorithm. We're going to start tomorrow. We're going to start slow, and we're going to move faster as we get through the week. These problems, not this. Your parents will look at this and be like, what are they doing? They get scared of this. But when Tuesday through Thursday, your parents should be pretty good at the standard algorithm. They might not know it's called that, but you can show them this video or the next videos all week, and then they'll know how to do it. They can help you a lot if you have questions. Otherwise, you can always ask Miss Keller or Mr. B during our meeting times or through emails. Hopefully this was just a reminder of how to do it. Hopefully you remember how to do it all. This might be a little bit more refreshing to your memory, because you guys are not confused on this. But tomorrow we start some new stuff.